Here to address the press is Madam President.
When looking at the subject of women's roles and hindrances in the symphony orchestra, the Vienna Philharmonic is an enlightening place to start. In an article discussing the issue of gender bias in international orchestras, it explores the deep-rooted gender marginalization of the Vienna Philharmonic. The Vienna Philharmonic is known for its extremely sexist atmosphere. It is allowed to operate in such a manner because it is run through a democratic self-administration. Their ruling body is the full orchestra membership itself. In practice, all decisions are made by 12 elected administrative board members. Periodically, meetings occur to find out if these board members are still in fact trusted to make decisions for the entire orchestra. This article explores the astonishing beliefs and reasons to prove this point. In comparing orchestras, it is important to point out the presence of women in the European workforce than in the United States, especially those in higher management and executive positions. These positions can be compared to the positions in top-level orchestras. European women make up 41% of the workforce and only 1% of the corporate executive boards, while in the United States, women account for half the workforce and 10% of the board seats. In Britain, which is considered Europe's most positive environment for working women, 41% of the 100 largest companies have a woman board member, compared to 95% of the 100 largest U.S. companies. Comparative employment statistics in the top European and U.S. orchestras follow similar patterns. Far from making progress out of these stereotypes, women are lagging behind because of the beliefs that gender uniformity provides better musical production. The Vienna Philharmonic openly proclaims their belief in gender and ethnic uniformity. Because of the private nature of this orchestra, they are allowed to categorically exclude and deny women access into the orchestra. This particular orchestra is seeking international superiority through any means possible. Members of the orchestra discuss this and make claims that the only way to gain international superiority is through male uniformity. In addition to gender marginalization, ethnic marginalization is also an issue. Roland Gottler, a Viennese sociologist specializing in the study of isocratic social groups, says, "What I have noticed that is interesting is that Vienna Philharmonic would also never take a Japanese or such. If they took one, this also would somehow by appearances put in question the noble character of Viennese culture. But this is not racist." Helmut Zertner, a second violinist, says, "From the beginning we have spoken of the special Viennese qualities of the way music is made here. The way we make music here is not only a technical ability, but also something that has a lot to do with the soul. The soul does not let itself be separated from the cultural roots that we have here in Central Europe, and it also doesn't allow itself to be separated from gender." So, in essence, by allowing someone of a different ethnic background into the orchestra as well as gender would completely disrupt the soul of the musical production. When asked how they would feel about women being allowed into the orchestra, they responded that they would not be shocked nor surprised. However, their life energy would be tossed out the window. Another member of the orchestra, Dieter Fleury, a principal flutist, has a completely different opinion. He states, "No, truthfully said, I wouldn't be indifferent. I would have an uneasy feeling in the situation, and that is because we would be gambling with the emotional unity that this organism currently has. My worry is that it would be a step that could never be taken back." In a direct quote from the article itself, they view the male soul of the orchestra as a fragile organism subject to infection or defilement and can even possibly bring death by the inclusion of women. And yet, the regenerative ideas of maternity, sexual attraction, and female creativity would disturb uniformity. Gottler again says, quote, "Pregnancy brings problems, it brings disorder. Another important argument against women is that they can bring the solidarity of men in question. You find that in all men's groups," unquote. Gottler continues to say, quote, And the women can also contribute to creating competition among men. They distract men, not the older women. No one gives a damn about the older women. It's the younger ones. The older women are already clever. They run to you. But the 20 to 25-year-olds, they would be the problem. These are the considerations. It is a monastery. It is the same. The altar is the holy area, and the other gender may not enter it because it would cause disorder. Such are the opinions.